just had some of the best days so far. The last couple of days of this trip have just been so good. Today has been my favourite day so far. The highlight was going to see my second favourite basketball team, NBA team, the Los Angeles Clippers, play against the Dallas Mavericks. It was at the Staples Center, and it was my first time there or at an NBA game at all, and it was just awesome. The game wasn't as close as I wanted it to be. Clippers won by about 25 or something. It was just a really good experience. Also, a really good highlight was during timeouts they get people to, or they play music and people dance, and they put them on the big screen. So I got us all to stand up and dance at the same time, just so that we could be on TV. The camera went on to 4 of us, and we were on TV. We were on the big screen. It was game. We got up and started dancing to game style, and it was really cool. It was really cool.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style.
Awesome. Overall, it was a really good experience. The first thing we did today was actually go to Universal Studios. It exceeded my expectations. It was really cool. I was thinking it was going to be more just like the kind of theme park we have at Gold Coast, like Dreamworld or something like that. But it was really based on the movies and everything. Like it was basically pretty much just it's a studio. So there's all the sound stages and everything. We did the tour where we went through all the sound stages, went through all the sets where they've done famous movies like Back to the Future, some Jaws, just some really classic movies. The kind of rides we did were, there was one ride, the Transformers ride, I think it was called, which is like a simulated roller coaster where you wear 3D glasses and there's a whole screen in front of you, all around you, where the characters from the film acting out a scene kind of thing, where you're involved. And it was really cool. It was like really, 3D gets really close to you and it scares you. There was also a mummy ride, which was an actual, or closer to an actual roller coaster, which was a lot more exhilarating, but it had a bit of an anticlimax at the end when it's all really dark and then you're spinning around and then it just stops and opens and you see everyone. The Simpson ride I went on was really good. So we also went to the Haunted House, which was an attraction at Universal Studios. I got some awesome video in there, which is really funny. Good scares.
Holy moly! Good one.
So today was my best day so far, I think so. The day was just getting better and better. Yesterday, which was our 5th day here, was also another awesome day. On this day, we started off the day with a gangland tour of LA. There was a few people who do these tours for groups of people who come to LA. There's one guy who organises it, and he got 2 ex-criminals and people who have been really close to this type of lifestyle. One was Fred Scorpio Smith. He grew up in the projects of Watts, California, which is a suburb here near Compton, near South Central. He did a big talk with us on the bus as we drove to his hood, to his neighbourhood as he calls it, I guess. And he really told us a lot of interesting stories. It was really a really good character study, the whole thing. He told us a lot about himself, about why he does this, why he does that, the norms of being in a gang, living around that kind of area, whether you should go here, whether you should go there, how you should act around other people, other gang members and stuff like that. And he lived on a street called Grape Street, which was in Watts. It's not the main road of Watts, but it's the main gang name, or that's where you say if someone's from Watts, in the gang, they're the people from Grape Street. So he was part of the Crips gang. As you know, the Crips and the Bloods are the 2 different major gangs in LA, have been for a long time. Crips are wearing blue, they're the main colour, I guess, and Bloods are obviously red. So he's part of the Crips. It shows a lot of his gang signs and that kind of stuff. I got a lot of really good videos of him talking, which I'll put up here too, so you can get a good idea of the kind of stuff he was talking about. It was really interesting.
I've been in prison You know I look like I'm like 21, 22. I'm 41 years old. I've been in prison over 23 years of my life. I just came home from federal prison. I took a 17.5-year deal. I got caught with a couple of kilos of cocaine in St. Louis, Missouri. Took my childhood away. Basically, they took all my teenage years in jail. Most of my dope years. But right now, I ain't never planned on going back. I ain't made it off federal parole yet. Hopefully the next 2 years, I will be. Actually, I ain't been off parole or probation since I was 11, so I don't even know what it feel like. So I still can't vote. I still can't leave the country, because I want to go to Australia. I want to go to Africa for real, Congo or something, you know, Nigeria. So I want to go visit my country, but I ain't had the chance yet, but it is what it is, you know. Standing on ground zero. Like I say, it look peaceful, it look sweet, but trust and believe, it ain't. You know, right now, actually, the projects I'm from, in the rival projects, which is just down the street over here, they blood, is we at war right now. You know, they already know nobody is gonna do nothing at the Watch Towers, period. You know what I'm saying? Your own, you know, we discipline each other. Out of every 10 of my homeboys who get killed, 8 of them get killed by my own homeboys. Because there's so many of us, our territory is so big and you can't know everybody, period. It's just impossible for you to know everybody. So, right, let's say he's from a rival neighborhood, right? Let's say he a blood, right? A Crip. And you know, let's say, you know, we at war, Crips, Bloods don't get along, right? And 7 of his homeboys is at this club in Hollywood. 7 of my homeboys just happen to pop up there. They bump heads. My homies know, call me. Usually it'll be cracking. They'll call me, Squirt, man. Eli homeboy up here, man, what was happening? I'll be like, hold up, don't. I'll call somebody from his neighborhood with influence. Not anybody because he's from his neighborhood, but I call what we call like 5% of the people who, 5% of the gangbangers do 90% of the crime, or the shooting, put it that way. You know, so I call one of them 5%, look, your homie that Club SIBO, and my homies up there, man, call your people up there and let them know, okay, we ain't gonna get into it. We ain't gotta kick it, but let's leave each other alone. Because if not, this is what's happened mostly every time. If nobody don't make these phone calls, my homies and his homies start getting down in the club, right, fighting, whatever. Whoever make it out to the parking lot first, you know, they going to get their tools. Y'all know what a tool is, right? They're going to get their tools. So everybody gonna try to send somebody out first. Whoever make it out first and get their tools, woe to the other people when they come out, you know, and it's gonna be some clapping. Back and forth in the parking lot. Usually whoever make it out first, like I say, gonna win because they got the advantage, you know. But it's gonna be some clapping, which gonna lead to, away from the club, the hood's clapping.
It was really good to hear all that kind of stuff. It was really good to hear that side of LA we hadn't really seen yet. You see it from afar, but you don't really hear about it. He really gave us a lot of information about it. Like, we'd seen a lot of the glamorous side of LA. We've been to Beverly Hills quite a bit. We've driven through Hollywood. Oh, we've also been through Bel Air. So we've seen all the kind of posh areas of LA, you know, the rich parts. And it was really good to get the complete opposite. So it was really good to get that perspective, you know, to get the really rich to the poor. And just really interesting overall. Also on that day we went to CBS Studios and it was really cool. That was one of the better moments as well as this trip. So we got to have like the really up close and personal tour of like all the offices and studios and everything in CBS. We got to walk through the main part where the studios are and we saw that they were filming The Price is Right, Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, and some other shows that they sometimes film. We also got to meet a lot of the people who work in CBS Digital, which is like an offshoot of the company that works on a lot of TV shows and does the visual effects for a lot of the studios and TV shows and stuff like that. I got to see a lot of their work and how they work, how they started from 3 people, I'm pretty sure, to now 50 people. And there were so many talented people, it was amazing, it just gave me so much inspiration. There was one man, I didn't get his name unfortunately, but he's now a 3D modeler, but he used to paint backdrops, massive 20 by 40 backdrops. And he was talking about how he's gone from painting to now working on 3D because it's like, rather than working with perspective when you're drawing, you can now just make the whole thing pretty much as a 3D model in a computer, where it's pretty much you can do anything pretty much. So he showed us some of his backdrops that he's painted, and there was one that he painted which was really cool, how it looked real, and was 20 feet by 40 feet, and he said he painted it in 2 days. And I was just like amazed by all these stories he was telling me about how quickly he's done these things, and the detail to them. They looked real, so real. It was quite amazing. So that was a really good part of the tour so far. Or now that I'm seeing more the talented people, how the people have made it here, all that kind of stuff, the interesting people, the people who are changing their lives, all that kind of stuff. It's really opening my eyes and making me love this place. I really actually love LA right now. So I'm going to go now because I have to do a lot of other stuff. And I want to start someone. And yeah, so see you on the flip side.